Okay, I am back, still in good health and not suicidal. When Clinton was big in the news, they used to call that being Arkansided, and lately they've been calling it Epstein. So I had to fill a cat bowl because he was about to tear me to shreds, and I had to get a little bite because I've been running around like a fool and getting a little ditzy in the head. I've had nothing to eat. So I'd like to take a brief history of our meddling with terrorism. During the Carter administration, of course, he overthrew the Shah of Iran, and the Ayatollahs took over, and now they're trying to blow the world up with nuclear weapons. We have a way of portraying these secular Muslim leaders as monsters, and they are. Saddam Hussein, or Saddam Insane, Muammar Gaddafi, etc., they are not nice guys. They're Muslims. There is no such thing as human rights in Islam. The only leader you can possibly have is a power-mad monster. But our country has been overthrowing secular Muslim leaders for a long time and allowing flat-out Islamic fundamentalist jihadis to take their place. Like I said, Carter overthrew the Shah. Of course, there was the Islamic Spring. There was the murder of Gaddafi, who was not threatening us. They sodomized him, then they killed him. Saddam Hussein, he was not threatening us. Under his rule, or his dictatorship, there were, the last I heard, something like 900,000 Christians in Iraq, and they had rights, which is amazing in an Islamic country. I wonder if there are any of them left. We don't seem to take in the Christian, or even Christian. There's Christians and then there's Christians. We don't take those refugees into our country. But every time Islamic Jihadist Group A is getting over on Islamic Jihadist Group B, we take the refugees into our country when they should be in their own country fighting for their own country. And they have filled Western Europe, they have filled America, and they are, what do you know, engaged in jihad. Western Europe could fall. The UK could fall at any time to Islamic jihadis. The UK, for one, has nuclear weapons. And there is a long list of countries in this world that are under the British Crown. A few of the big ones: Canada, our not so friendly neighbors to the north, Australia, New Zealand. Allowing Islamic jihadis into your country by the millions or even the dozens is a very bad idea. We've been involved in the war in Syria. There are millions of Muslims killing other Muslims. Yemen, Lebanon, Jordan, so-called Gaza. We overthrew the secular government of Egypt. We piecemealed Yugoslavia. These Islamic jihadis are filling the world with jihad. That is a very bad plan. We've been pulling this for a long time. We went into Afghanistan to restore the poppy crop. To hunt for bin Laden. It is interesting to note that the bin Laden family has been business partners with the Bush crime family for a very long time. But when we went into Afghanistan to restore the poppy crop, catch bin Laden, we didn't do it. Now, under the Obama administration, we are told that they did capture bin Laden. We would have loved to seen the proof of that, but he got killed, yeah. And they gave him a solemn Islamic burial because they didn't want to offend any Muslims after killing one of their heroes. No, they dumped his body in the ocean. That's what we were told. Yeah, like that's a standard Islamic burial, feeding you to the sharks. And then SEAL Team 6 met an end in Afghanistan. They were ordered to violate all their protocols. They had to stop the way they did business, and they went lumbering into battle on a helicopter that wasn't theirs. And we were told that a goat herder in a dirty dress killed them all with an RPG. That was convenient, and it's too bad that the team isn't around anymore to tell us what really happened. I'm not buying it. There's always a fall guy. There's a Lee Harvey Oswald. There's a James Earl Ray. There's a Timothy McVeigh. There's a Thomas Crooks. There's always a patsy. I don't buy the narrative. As far as Islam, there is no such thing as a radical Muslim. If you are a real Muslim, you are required to engage in jihad. If you don't, you are, according to the Quran, a hypocrite, and you are to be killed in gruesome fashion so that everybody will know to toe the line in the future. They will not assimilate. They will be here and they will be overthrowing the country. Planes will fall out of the sky. If they're in the health services, patients will die. Police stations will blow up because they're enforcing man's laws and not Allah's. Like I say, the UK right now is on the brink. Let me read something. I'm going to turn to my King James teleprompter here. Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. You don't throw your pearls to swine. Okay? You don't fill your country full of butt-faced jihadis and wonder, well, which one is the good guys? Who's going to kill me? Did we fight World War II that way? Did we throw our country open to the Nazis and go, yeah, you can all come here because we don't know which ones are good and which ones are bad? Our government, their main function is to protect the rights of the people, to uphold the Constitution and protect our country. Okay? You don't bring terrorists into the country who will not assimilate, who do not agree with your laws, and then wonder which one's going to do you in, which one's going to unalive you, which ones are going to treat you in very disgraceful ways, which I can't say or I'll be banned on YouTube. You don't do that. And they've done it. They made a lot of money with the war machine. Useless wars that have unalived millions of people and ruined our freedoms, that are taking the gospel away, the ability of free speech, the ability to share the gospel from their own citizens. And the reason they do that is because they all have the same God. They all worship Satan. Okay? I don't care what you want to call him. The tree is known by its fruit. What we need is a revival. Now, I'm not calling for any violence. I am a peace-loving, old cuddly grandpa. I am a law-abiding citizen. I call for the proper authorities to do their job for once. And that is to stand for God and righteousness and to protect this country, to stand for our Constitution. As an American citizen and a God-fearing man, I will never, ever initiate harm to anybody. I will never hurt anybody on purpose. I will not put up with you trying to harm me either. Let's be very clear. I will defend innocent life. Try your act on somebody else. And I will not stop speaking the truth. Okay? I am not calling for vigilantism or any kind of violence. I am calling for people to pray for revival. God has got to solve this problem. If he doesn't, it won't get solved. The Lord has shown me there will be revival. I can't tell you how, I can't tell you where. I can tell you it will happen. I'm not in control of that. There is a revival that each of us needs. It starts right here. Okay, the Bible says this: if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. We can all have our own revival. It's got to start here. I can't control anything else. The one thing I can control with the help of God is me. Now, how do we know we're God's people? Let me turn to my King James teleprompter. And if you read this verse, you will hear all kinds of so-called great men of God tell you why this verse doesn't apply to us and this won't happen and blah, blah, blah. You need to leave these great men of God. Okay? They're turned to the Bible and they don't believe the Bible. You don't need them. Not for one more minute, not one more dime of your money, not one more minute of your time. This land is going downhill because of these great men of God who don't believe the Bible. 99.99% of them are hirelings or wolves. And I could start naming names. I'd be going on all day. You name a big name, I can't think of one offhand that actually believes the Bible. Quit teaching the Bible. You don't believe it. Get out. Get into politics. Okay? Kiss people's rear end, shake hands, tell them what they want to hear, and then stab them in the back. Get into politics. Get out of the Bible. How do you know you're God's people? For by grace are you saved, through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works, which God hath before ordained that we should walk in them. Faith first, works follow. A tree is known by its fruit. For by grace are you saved. What is grace? Let me just tell you a layman's term. It's the blessing of God to allow you to see what you need to see rightly, and the power to do rightly. God has given every man the measure of faith. You can see, you can know, if you're willing. And then it's, God, I have screwed it up again. You take over, you're the boss. I turn from my wicked ways. Straighten me out. Okay? Starts here. God willing, He will heal your land. But whether or not He does, you aren't getting to heaven because of the land you live in. You're not getting to heaven by the family you're from. You're not getting to heaven by your religion. The only way you get there is a proper relationship with God. He's God. You're not. He's in charge. You're not. You're not clean. He is. Lord, clean me up. All right. Thanks for watching. Keep praying. Keep your powder dry. Don't harm anybody. Don't take any garbage. They will walk all over you. If you don't exercise your rights, you won't have any. God bless. Till next time.